So, this deck idea for Tatyova's Reclamation is kind of a silly idea. I wanted to try to see if there was a way to build for Steward of Tides. And I decided I want to try to go some type of super ramp build. In order to do this, I ended up going with the idea of using these Dire Strain Rampages in the main board. And what this card does allows you to destroy any artifact, enchantment, or land. If a land was destroyed this way, its controller may search their deck for 2 basics to put onto the battlefield. Otherwise, its controller may search their library for just a basic land to put onto the battlefield tapped. This is actually really useful for us because it serves as a form of ramp for our deck, and it has flashback so we can do it twice. But if we need to, it's spot removal for any artifact or enchantment that we can't let our opponent have. The other things that we have going on in our deck is we do have, like I said, the Splendid Reclamation. So all the lands that we potentially destroy with the Rampage and using our fetch lands, we can bring them all back to the battlefield. It does bring them back to the battlefield tapped, but it does mean with Tatyova's ability, we'll more than likely hit the 7 lands the moment we can do this, and be able to start animating up all of our lands and make them into quite a sizable force. To help us get to this plan, we have some Rending Flames for spot removal. It's a little more expensive at 3 mana, but it does 5 damage. This is important because that means we can deal with things as large as Sheoldred. And Sheoldred's a problem for us because we like to draw cards. Because we have some Thirst for Discoveries. As we mentioned, we're fine with discarding cards that are land because of Splendid Reclamation. But we also have Joint Exploration, which is basically a new version of Growth Spiral. And we also have some Herd Migrations for land getting as lands as well. Now this one's not card draw, but we discard it, get ourselves a basic land, and we gain 3 life. A late game, we could potentially play this and get ourselves a herd of tokens, because we do have some triomes here to help make sure we can possibly hit the domain higher than our typical 3. But to round the deck off, we have some Run 7 to take advantage of our huge amount of ramp to get a large Tree Folk to defend us. We have some Storm the Festivals to basically pull out any of the combo parts, as well as even hitting lands is important for our deck to throw straight to the board. And we have some Elder Dragon Wards to serve as a form of a sweeper, gives us a little discard draw, and the 4/4 Flying Dragon token isn't bad for us. So it's an interesting deck idea. We're going to be trying it out and hopefully see some combo action. If not seeing combo action, at least just simply seeing Steward of the Tides land animation plan hopefully yield some potential wins here. Alright. On the open, this is a terrible hand. Why is it terrible? Because we have both our mountains in our hand, and red's only for really a few cards. I think it's just popular recently. I've seen a lot of it in Mythic. I mean, it looks like a really fun deck that they have there, but it also does require a lot of rare cards, as you saw. So it could be that it's just not super popular because of its, requires people to take the time to get all the cards for it. Okay, this is a little better here. We'll keep this one. I'm trying to think, do I keep the Thirst for Discovery or the Joint? Let's see. I think I'm going to keep Thirst for Discovery and put that on the bottom. So, yeah, so we use this one, get ourselves a green source. This will get used to get ourselves a red source. Fortunately, mono black with the... Why do you have to have the concealing curtains? Why? It's so rude. Alright. So we're dealing with mono black that has more of a focus on discard from what it looks like, so it won't surprise me if we see them jam a Liliana to the board just to start making us discard. Probably take Ren and 7 out of all the cards in our hand. They may take the Herd Migration, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, so they do take Ren, which is what I figured was most likely. Rending Flame is great, but we're going to kick this first. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's actually just take the Cabaret Courtyard, and we're just going to shuffle the deck. Alright, so we take 5. Bankbuster, okay. The thing I'm worried about mainly from them is Shuldred, but haven't seen that from them yet. Let's go for a Thirst for Discovery. Discard the red source. Play the Lounge. Let's see, I think so it's still the same thing. Opponent seems to be stuck on mana, but I'm surprised they didn't just level this up. Alright, at this point, we're going to have to fire off the Rending Flame, get rid of the eye here. And we're going to pass it to the opponent. We're going to hold, make Disappear, and Thirst for Discovery. If they bring any creature to the board that has any power, we have to use the counterspell, otherwise Bankbuster can come in and kill us. If they have a Shuldred, I'd like them to play it right now. But we still have to counterspell that. Because like I said, if we didn't counterspell it, they just crew up Bankbuster and they kill us. Alright, we play the Migration, get ourselves a lot of tokens. Potentially stabilize here. Alright. That flyer will have us dead in just a couple turns.
Deal with this annoyance.
Let's Thirst. Okay, so we have to discard 2 cards. We'll discard these. Gonna play the Hideout, get ourselves another land from the deck. So I don't really want to play more lands to the board because we are requiring our main card from our deck, but the worst part is I feel like if I kill Bankbuster, they just draw they just play Despair against us and we just instantly lose. This is just one of those things when you play a combo deck. Can you find the combo pieces? If not, well, you don't really do a whole lot. And as you saw, we've already gotten almost halfway through our deck. We haven't found a single Tatyova. Alright, opponent's just trying to guarantee the lethal in the air by doing the minus.
You can deal with my servant. Under my vampire will shoot. I bring
We're gonna Thirst.
army.
Discard the land. There's our Tatyova. So late into the draws here. Alright. Animate. 1, 2, 3. Actually... There we go. Just trying to figure out how I want to tap this. So destroy this. Get ourselves 2 lands. Take action. Animate these. Opponent's giving us a GG's because they probably have the card I'm afraid of. Yeah, we'll hold one of these back. Alright, if you're just going to keep spamming that, I'm just going to hit mute on you. I know they can animate Big Buster to be a block and just kill one of these, but we're going to take that. If they could just have any type target removal, kill Tatyova, all of our lands fall from the air, and we die to the attacks. They could just play Invoke and we still lose. Yeah, and there's the Invoke. And we're just going to scoop it. Alright, so on the open we have double Tatyova, but Tatyova really doesn't do a whole lot for us without the rest of the cards, but I think we can still try keeping it. But yeah, as I say right now, it's all mono black. And the worst part is, if I take this deck into the unranked queue, I still just go against mono black. It's so frustrating. It's like, I'd like to see some deck variants. Maybe I just could jump into like an alchemy queue or something. But the problem is, it's the alchemy queue, it's just not... The alchemy queue's got its own issues. None of those cards that they made for it feel balanced. Alright, they're going to look at our hand, they're going to grab a card. Which card do they grab? They could choose to grab nothing, and then we don't get a redraw. But they may just take the Make Disappear just to get rid of the counterspell. Well, there's our burn down. I'm actually just going to go ahead and discard this, give us some life, because I don't feel like we're going to be able to play that one against how aggressive this opponent is. Go for the land, pass it back to the opponent. We can joint exploration, ramp a card, and we can use burn down. So, love it if they commit more to the board here. Maybe we should just join exploration just to tap out and maybe get them to do such a thing. Alright. We're going with the level up plan, so explore. Put the lounge on the bottom. I don't feel like we need more lands at the moment. We just need... Oh, we do need more lands, but we need to be able to put them on the board faster. Alright, let's burn it down. Good old Soren.
Consider yourself fortunate. You fight for me now.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't have enough to use the Tatyova as landfall triggers yet, but I'm going to bring it to the board, hold up, make disappear. Alright, you're going to kill that while I kill your sword.
Without me, we're all doomed.
Yeah, I think I just, like I mentioned before, I need to maybe make disappear and turn this into a different type of counterspell. Because we're trying to play to the late game, and at this point in time, if we're trying to protect Tatyova, we're going to need a different type of counterspell magic to make sure we can protect it. Let's see, we will animate the island. Pass it back to the opponent. Offer the block. They're going to try to meat hook us. But we have to disappear. So, punish the opponent. We'll storm some festivals. Grab these two. If we get hit by another meat hook, I'm going to be so pissed. Alright, you know what? We're going to submit 0 just in case the opponent does have another meat hook. Evolve Sleeper for our opponent. I'm just going to immediately start leveling it up. Okay, so it's a 3/3 Death Toucher now. Let's get some migration. It's only 3 tokens, but that's enough to apply enough for a lethal next turn. With them doing that draw, we don't have to worry about a meat hook. So yeah, there we go. We got the good game. So we can beat Mono Black. Alright, we'll just send it. Oh, March of Red Sorrows does give them life. Let's do a draw in response. Alright, sadly, we don't have any interaction there. If I had the ability to draw the 5 damage spell, I could have killed my land in response to deny them life gain. Oh, but we still actually had lethal there. I thought we were actually going to come up a little short because of how much life they gained, but no, we got there. Good, good, good. Alright, we're going to hit Mulligan here. We'll keep this. Gonna keep the Thirst for Discovery over the Rampage. Rampage is great for us just because it does give us the ramp, and as well as put the lands in the graveyard for the Reclamation plan, but I think it's going to be better for us to do the land pass play here. Especially once when we find that our opponent is potentially mono blue. What beats mono black right now? Mono blue. Because it just counterspells everything. But that's actually just it, is Raz. There's no guarantee. Like, mono black has the highest win ratio right now in the format because there is no solid answer for it. Tempt the Thirst. Alright, opponent's kind enough to let us do this. We'll discard the red source. Actually, discard the blue source. Let's go green source, pass. Go for joint exploration. Alright. Starting to get those counterspells out of their hand now. Yeah, literally everyone's playing it right now because there is no solid counter. Oh, actually, I take it back. White-green enchantments actually does have a good matchup against it. Selesnya enchantments. Because it just locks up the whole board in exile. Let's see. We'll take the counterspell. And I think we'll still take the land. Guard into board. So, let's see. I really want the opponent to play something to the board first. Because I can't win a counterspell war right now. Counterspell. If we win this counterspell war, I think we actually are in a good place. Counterspell? Because we have the 2 mana, we can pay for a Spell Pierce. And now we can get Tatyova to the board, animate a land. We'll animate the red source. And send it in. Okay, I'm not actually worried about the terror at all. Let's actually cycle this, because we can use reanimation to bring back the lands. Animate. Opponent might be holding on to the 1 mana bounce spell here. Let's see, with March being played, let's go ahead and Rending Flame, get rid of the terror. So we get 1 less land animated here, but we no longer have to deal with the 5/5 on the board. Alright, land to the board. Animate. Let's try to get another counterspell out of their hand. Pay for it. Pay for it. We do less damage, but if this gets to resolve, there's no way the opponent's surviving. So yeah, there we go. We got a Splendid Reclamation win with the Tatyova. Against Mono Blue, the deck with the most counter spells. Oh, that actually feels really good that we managed to do that. But that's one of the drawbacks of these Make Disappears. If you get to a late game where opponents have mana, you're not necessarily going to be able to counterspell anything. Alright, actually, I'll keep this. So, use this, get ourselves a forest. We're against Esper. Alright, we're going to play this, pass it back to the opponent. We'll discard here, get ourselves a red source. Bring this to the board, pass it back. I'm just trying to keep our opponent off of the early plays by holding up the potential counterspell magic. Yeah, no, you do not get Shieldred. Oh, geez, no. We cannot handle Shieldred. So, let's see here. Courtyard. Get ourselves the last red source. Rampage. Get ourselves 2 green sources. Kaido, that's fine.
I won't let Tatyova fail my... I know something you don't know.
Tatyova can't really come to the board and give us immediate value yet, so I think what we're going to do... We're going to Thirst. Discard the land. Play the Hideout. Another green source. Putting a stop on our upkeep just in case they go for another Shieldred, so that way we can Rending Flame it on our upkeep. Actually, I think we'll attempt Burn Down instead. Alright, there's Meat Hook. I'm actually glad they just throw that to the board without any value to it.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Alright, they discarded Meat Hook. Loving that. They are holding up mana that looks like Wandering Emperor mana. We'll attempt Ren in 7. Alright, there's a negate. Rapine for our opponent. I'm surprised the opponent's just purely plussing the Kaido here. That's Meat Hook number 3. So opponents lost all their answers if we actually resolve Tatyova. Attempt to kill. Tap here.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Go for Burn Down to create the 1/1 tokens. Okay, so they put it will stop us from doing that. It puts Burn Down back in our hand, though. Alright, so they get the emblem, but
I've studied your tactics.
opponent knows we have Burn Down. Do they have another counterspell? If they don't, we just burn down, clean up board, and not really care too much. Oh, jeez. Opponent, what's with all the freaking interceptors? This is my first time actually someone's bothered to go for the ultimate on a Kaido here. Okay. We'll go for the exploration. Tatyova to the bottom, get the land, play the land. That's just a case of if the opponent has a counter, anything to stop us from burning it down, we lose. But if they don't, we win. Because we take out almost all the creatures now. I'd rather you not draw those cards. Because if they drew those cards, we die from the draw triggers from, the Augur of Agonies here. Okay, opponent. This is why Meat Hook is just so ridiculous. We're losing to Meat Hook. Alright. Just double checking, like, make sure we have all of our lands correct here. Alright, Tatyova to the board. Lands. Animate. We need to find a way to gain some life. If we can hit the Reclamation, we can get ourselves 3 life because the land's in our graveyard. Let's try to storm the festival. Oh my gosh, you are such an annoyance. The worst part is this card kills us. Because of Meat Hook. But we can destroy Meat Hook. So we're hoping they don't have a removal spell for Tatyova at this point. So the question is, do they hit Meat Hook number... Oh my gosh, that's Meat Hook number 4 for them. So, yeah. I think we can keep this. This one can work. Okay, so Spirit Companion for our opponent. We're actually seeing a different deck idea here. It's so rare, but I do enjoy the fact that I'm going to be playing against something I don't know. Alright, put the counterspell on the bottom. Draw the card. Put it on the board. Gonna go for the... I'm gonna go for the definite ramp here. It's a shame we missed the land drop, but we still are ahead of our opponent with the land because of the exploration ramping us.
tired of your secrets.
Alright, let's see. We'll discard Exploration. Land for turn. Kill her Veil.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Pass it back. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Let's go for a draw spell. We'll discard that.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not you won't be outsmarting me.
Discard Migration. We'll storm the festival. Alright, we get both of these to the board. Land Animation. We hit the Lily.
You're gonna need a good undertaker.
And we'll create the big token.
They prepare for war.
We actually have a really good board state for the deck, finally. I'll discard Tatyova. Reclamation. Animates. Animates. Play the lands. Animate. Send 2 over there to make sure she dies. And we'll leave it like that.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No blocks. Land. Animate. Storm the festival. Grab Ren. Grab Broker's Hideout.
Calm the tree
Animates.
and hear the rot at their roots.
Large token.
Trees can fight their own.
Then the 11/11. So we are Kinston Angels deck, basically. I was a little surprised, like, seeing all these angels, considering we see Liliana, Spirit Companion, and Wedding Announcement, but interesting deck from our opponent. Let's go ahead and plus first.
Every seed contains great potential.
Land animates. Let's see. That brings them back to 3. So I don't have to worry about too much. Try to bring the opponent down low. Going to see how many lands are still left in the deck. we have enough that I think I'm going to Rampage here. Grab 2 lands from the deck. Well, I'm going to actually decline these triggers. Because if our opponent does have any type of sweeper, I don't want to give up that many lands. Otherwise, we won't be able to play any of our important cards. Okay, so Archangel of Wrath. I'm going to probably double shoot Ren. That way they don't have to attack in. Nope, they go for the Tatyova. Alright. Did they sacrifice any angel to kill off Ren? They do not. We'll go for another Tree Folk. Land. Swing the 2 Tree Folks. We're going to hold everything else back. Alright. Go for the migration and pass it back. With the opponent down to only 3 life, they do have the ability to attack and gain some life here. Let's see. Whenever Enforcer attacks, double your life total. So if it attacks, they just only go up to 6. Same equivalent of if they attack with these. Discard both these. I mean, we'll block and kill it. Let's see. If we burn down the house, that's just lethal, right? Because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah. It does shrink our damage, but we still get there. Yeah, so Tatyovan's Reclamation unfortunately suffers from the fact that if we do actually pull off the combo, all of our lands still get stuck in a tap position most of the time that we animate, and it does allow our opponents to sweep us up in the response, and that did happen a couple times. So the only way that we could really perform this combo would probably be if we actually took it to like an older format, so that way we could have access to cards that allow us to untap all of our creatures. That way we can animate a whole bunch of our lands, get the untap, get the swing in the air for potential lethal. But it's really hard just to deal with the fact that we're just seeing tons of mono black, where it's lots of spot removal. So if Tatyova touches the board, it usually gets removed from the board. And the fact that they have Meat Hook Massacre, so like I mentioned before, we have to usually take a turn off before we can send them in, and we get Meat Hooked out of the game, because it destroys all of our lands that we animate. So it's a silly idea and fun in concept, but not really fun to play in the standard format, because Mono Black runs at 3 to 4 Meat Hook Massacres in each of their decks, so they have the definite answer. We run slow, so they can more than likely draw into it, and like I mentioned, they just have so much spot removal, and since we're not giving them any real good targets early on, even after we made some changes, like we brought in Malevolent Hermits, and did some other like changes, like bring in Burn Down the Houses, so that way we can sweep up the board. Now, Burn Downs definitely help the deck out a great deal. It gives us that better fight against the aggro. It also allows us to potentially kill off some Planeswalkers for the Super Friends action. But I don't think this deck will ever really take off unless there's a way for us to just suddenly untap our cards or we have to have a specific counterspell in hand to protect our cards when we do our combo. Strong combo, but unfortunately not strong enough.
Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video and have a nice one.